Bro, Formula One's 2026 calendar is quietly setting up a Max Verstappen storyline nobody is talking about enough. Madrid is officially on the grid, Portimao is coming back, and the sport is drifting back toward real driver tracks right when the biggest regulation reset in years hits. And if Red Bull's 2026 package is even slightly unstable, these venues don't just decide races, they decide Max's future. So let's talk about what changed, why it matters, and which tracks could basically force the Verstappen market to explode. Now here's the wild part. The calendar isn't just a list of travel dates anymore. For 2026, it's starting to look like a pressure map, and Max Verstappen is right at the center of it. Because when the rules change this hard, you don't just ask who has the fastest car. You ask, where can a driver save a season when the car isn't perfect? And the answer is always the same. Circuits that punish mistakes, reward commitment, and expose weak cars. First headline, Madrid is in. The FIA calendar has the Spanish Grand Prix going to Madrid on September 11th to 13th, 2026, with the new Madring layout planned around IFEMA and Valdebebas. It's being positioned as a technical track with a big signature-banked corner moment. Now, whether Madrid becomes instant chaos or instant classic depends on two things: grip level and raceability. Street-style layouts can produce either, wow, this is tight and intense, or everyone's stuck. But what matters for Max is this. If Red Bull's 2026 car is tricky, especially with new power unit integration, a brand new circuit is where a driver like Verstappen can steal weekends just by adapting faster than everyone else. New tarmac, new braking references, new lines, that's where the elite drivers quietly separate. Second headline that should make fans smile. Portimao is officially coming back for 2027 and 2028. Now, I know that's technically 2027, but it matters right now because it signals a calendar direction shift. Portimao is one of those tracks where the car can't hide its weaknesses over crests and fast direction changes. It's also a place where driver confidence is basically a performance upgrade. And when the sport is moving toward venues like that, it's basically saying, we're okay with tracks that expose you. That's perfect for Max as a driver, but it's terrifying for Red Bull if they don't nail 2026. Because suddenly you're not just fighting Mercedes or Ferrari, you're fighting the calendar. And that leads to the big Verstappen tension point. 2026 is the year where everybody expects reliability pain again. When you change the technical platform this much, retirements and weird failures tend to rise. So in a season like that, you want tracks where your driver can build a points cushion even on bad car weekends. Max is famous for damage limitation, turning disasters into podiums. But damage limitation only works if the calendar gives you opportunities to do it. Madrid being late in the European run is also spicy for a second reason. It lands right in that part of the year where championship stories either stabilize or collapse. If Max is in a tight title fight, Madrid becomes a pressure cooker. If he's not in it, Madrid becomes a giant billboard for every rumor you can imagine. Because the moment Red Bull looks anything less than dominant under new regulations, the conversation shifts from, can Max win again, to, where does Max go next? And that's why calendar news connects to driver market news, even when people pretend it doesn't. Now, quick reality check. We have to be honest about what's confirmed versus what's just noise. Madrid and Portimao? That's real calendar direction, with Madrid dated on the FIA calendar and Portimao confirmed for 2027-28. Other classic track rumors floating around the paddock? Those come and go every year. But the pattern is what matters. The calendar is trying to balance spectacle street events with circuits that actually reward racing lines, risk, and driver feel. And if you're building the narrative of Verstappen's next era, that balance matters. Because Max's brand isn't social media hype champion. His brand is, give me a car that's 90% right, and I'll make it look like 110%. That's why he's dangerous in seasons of instability. So, if Red Bull has internal change, new power unit complexities, or even just a slightly unpredictable car, Max can still win races. But only if the calendar gives him places where skill and bravery are worth more than perfect aero. And that's what 2026 is shaping up to be. A season where we'll learn who built the smartest overall package, not just peak downforce, but energy deployment, drivability, braking stability, tire behavior, the whole thing. And the calendar will magnify all of it. So here's the way I'm looking at it. Madrid is going to be a global spotlight race, whether it deserves it or not. Portimao coming back signals that F1 still values proper circuits that expose drivers and cars. And in the middle of a regulation reset, that combination is like throwing gasoline onto the Verstappen conversation. Because if Red Bull isn't clearly top two early in 2026, the season becomes less about defending a contract and more about protecting a legacy. And if you're a fan, that's not bad news. That's the kind of chaos that creates the best seasons. Now I want to know what you think. Does Madrid become a banger or another good for photos, painful for racing, street-style event? And do you think the calendar shift toward tracks like Portimao helps Max or actually exposes Red Bull if the car isn't perfect? Drop your take, and if you want, I'll also turn this into a full upload pack. 10 viral titles, description, keywords, hashtags, and thumbnail text that matches the breaking news vibe.